In another world with my siscon, the record of Wincest Wars. Do you love your sister and her 2-hit multi-target attacks? Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful Wincested world. I gotta stop. I'm gonna end up getting demonetized. What do you get when you combine my mother and her 2-hit combo attack with, I guess Konosuba? I guess that's kind of what you're getting with my 1-hit kill sister, a series that is airing in the spring 2023 anime season. I just got done with the first episode, and I was pleasantly surprised by how much I had so much fun with the series, and man, this new studio is really doing really well. Yes, my 1-hit kill sister. The adventures of a boy that's transported to another world with crappy skills and his protection by his sister named Mayane. No, Mayane. No, not Miyane. Mayane. Let's jump right into it. My 1-hit kill sister opens up with a guy named Asahi, and he is in our modern times Japan, and at some point, his body's kind of moved on its own, and he saved this girl from a vehicle, and yes, Truck-kun. He got Truck-kun, killed, and he's sitting there like, oh, well, at least that one girl's safe. I saved her life, so it's a happy end, right? But no, it doesn't end there. It never does. He's transported to a fantasy world, and as he's walking around, he's realizing, man, this feels like a video game. It feels like I've been transported to a video game. Everything is translated Japanese. You know, I got all my stuff with me still. He quickly goes and sells his cell phone and whatever he doesn't need, gets a new outfit, and then sets out to the Adventure Guild immediately, thinking, okay, it's time for me to start my adventure. Meets the hot receptionist. They always have, every single show like this, I always think the receptionist is like the hottest character in the show. Yes, he's a gyaru. To top everything off, you have a tanned gyaru behind the counter. But yes, he talks about how it's his first time and he's just joining, and so she signs him up and everything. And then he sets out to kill some killer rabbits and ends up running into a wyvern. And that sucks because, again, he's not very powerful and he's nearly being killed, but then he calls out to his sister. His sister that doted on him so much in his previous life, he calls out to his sister. As we all do when you're in another world, you call out to your sister. He's not a siscon or anything. And yes, somehow magically, his sister shows up and she's massively OP and one-shots the wyvern. And she's super thrilled about this. I'm here with my brother. She loves her brother so much. Now, it's kind of given an indication that he's not necessarily like a siscon, but she's a massive brocon. She loves her brother, dotes on him, loves him. He realized really quickly that it is in fact his sister because she literally just glomps on him and starts rubbing up against him. What we find out is that, yes, Asahi, when he got hit by the vehicle, he wasn't completely isekai'd. His body back in their previous world is just in a coma. And as she's, like, crying over his bed, he's just kind of murmuring about some sort of magical world that he's in. And so she immediately, in response to this, decides to start banging her head against the wall, trying to put herself into a coma so that she could join and protect her brother. And so, yes, she arrives there and he's like, well, okay, well, let's go home. And she's like, well, I don't know how to do that. He's like, you came here without knowing how to get back? And she's like, no, your safety was the top priority here. So yeah, now the two of them traveling together, fighting bad guys. All the while, he has terrible stats. He can't do anything, but his sister is massively overpowered. It's to the point where he asks her to show like her status screen. And of course, she misunderstands what he means by stats and starts to like throw his arm onto her chest and talk about her 3 sizes. But no, she opens up her status screen and it doesn't show anything. You kind of get the typical kind of layout screen. And so he's assuming that her stats are so large, it's beyond the screen, so you can't see anything. So he's like, you shouldn't show anybody else but me this. It would be dangerous. Well, cut forward, they save a village, and Asahi gets like all the credit for it because the villagers all think that he did it. And his sister's like, I like this. I like when other people praise my brother. Well, this was where it kind of turns into unfortunate as, yeah, he gets credit for it. It bumps his rank up really high. Asahi basically realized that he's a rank higher than his capabilities. And if you falsify your capabilities, it means death. So he has to kind of keep up this facade that he's the one with the power and not his sister. And yes, this gets thrown in his face really quickly as this like really high ranking party leaves the town and this guy gets really angry and starts thrashing things. And everybody goes, oh, Asahi's here. He's this rank, so obviously he can help. Well, he has to sort of have Maya attack the guy while it looks like it's him doing it. Her casting a spell to kind of cut the ground as Asahi does this big performance. And yes, he promised her that he would do anything if she did what he said, and so she jumps on him with a kiss. And in the background, they have the talk about there's being a Demon King. There's always a Demon King, and how Asahi is probably gonna have to defeat the Demon King in order to go back home. And so Maya's like, well, let's just go kill him real quick. It's like, it's not gonna be that easy. But that's my one-hit kill sister in a nutshell. So far, like I said before, I'm pleasantly surprised by this. Now, let's get the usuals out of the way, the comparisons. Obviously, when I first seen this series, when I seen the synopsis and everything, I was like, man, this is pretty much my mom and her two-hit combo attacks or whatever, that show. The show where the guy gets isekai to another world and his mother comes with him. He's not overpowered, but his mother is. Now, I think the one thing that I'm liking most about this show versus that show, while I thought the mom was, it's just chef kiss. Loved her design. She was fantastic, super doty and everything. The main character was annoying in the idea that he just absolutely hated his mom, and it was just kind of, it was too much. And so I kind of like the fact that with this show, my one-hit kill sister, yes, it's the same premise of an overpowered sibling or relative coming with you, but with this one, Asahi isn't like, he doesn't hate his sister. He likes his sister. He's got a natural relationship with his sister. Now, the reverse isn't so natural for a lot of people, as yes, with the sister, she's seems like she's in love with her brother. Now, it doesn't seem romantically, it just seems like she's open to him knowing everything about her, and she really loves him and dotes on him. But you know what they're going for here. They're going for the siscon bait here. So if you like your siscon stuff, you're really going to be happy with this show. But again, like I said before, I'm liking the relationship between the two of them so far. The overly doting sister and the guy that just seems like he's all right with her. And that's cool. I don't like that kind of malicious nature of a character to be pushing it away. And yes, being the fact that I have siblings, not sister, I do enjoy the aspect of that sibling bond and going to another world together and taking on challenges together with a sibling. That part really kind of hits me, and I really like that idea. And yes, the other kind of comparison that I kind of started getting a hint of was Konosuba. I'm sorry, Asahi looks like he's sort of like Kazuma. And he even talks about the idea is his class villager. Which, yes, Konosuba kind of had the same concept. Being reincarnated in another world and you had no skills to really be a good fighter or anything. So I'm already getting that indication as well. But that's sort of where it kind of stops. I will say that I'm really surprised by the Studio Gecko. I think when I seen the previews and the synopsis and everything, I was like, oh wait, Gecko, who the hell is this studio? I don't really have much promise for this. But actually, this first episode looked really, really good. We had it, again, like I always say every time it happens, we had a dragon that wasn't CGI. It was fully animated. They put a lot of effort in the animation with the show. Now, I will say, I'm putting a hesitation here. It almost felt like, especially the first half of the show, like the first skit leading up to his sister showing up, it felt like almost a pilot episode. Like, this is where all the animation went to, and everything beyond here is probably not going to be that great. They had a couple really good points later on, but you start to see where those corners start to get cut. Like, they start to chill out. So, I don't have a full expectation that what this first episode is going to be what the rest of the show is. You should never expect that. If you ever watch any show, the first episode always is pretty much their pedigree, and then beyond that, it doesn't really matter. They like to get that banger of the first episode so that, in Japan anyways, the moment that people watch that first episode, they go out and they buy the source material. That's typically how it works in a lot of cases in Japan, is those first episodes get people hooked, they go on the source material, they don't care about the rest. But we'll see. Well, I'm not going to put it past the studio to have a really great first starter show. So yeah, comedy's pretty solid. I will say that there is a feeling that I have deep inside this comedy could get old. Again, the idea here is weak guy, overpowered sister. Everybody believes that he's supposed to be the hero, and he has to keep covering up that his sister's the one that's doing it. All the while, the sister is, glomping on him and wanting to, I don't know. Again, I don't know the limits to what Maya thinks of Asahi. At least being very, very clingy to him. But again, the chemistry is already solid. I like the fact that Asahi likes his sister, and the fact that the sister is overly glumpy to him. It's fun. And I like the fact that Maya isn't an idiot. And typically with something like this, you typically have that character is sort of an idiot. She is a little bit dense. Like I said, when he's asking about her stats, she thinks he wants to know about the 3 sizes. But again, that's all for the comedy's sake. But the chemistry is already pretty solid so far. I'm already kind of liking Maya. Now, her character design isn't my favorite, but I'm sure that she's going to grow on me really quickly. Tanya, the receptionist, is already fantastic. Like I said, that smile she gave was like, dang, it was perfect. I love that smile. But as per usual, unfortunately, most of these shows, the receptionist doesn't get any attention after the first episode. But then we also have the introduction at the very end of what seems to be probably the Demon King. She's looking for a challenge, and I'm sure she's gonna overhear the exploits of Asahi and go to seek out Asahi and then have to fight Maya. But we'll see if she can add another little bit of chemistry into it, because I'm really kind of curious as to the surrounding cast and how they'll kind of accent the main two. Couple other things I love how willing she was to give up this elixir just for a small scratch on his cheek. But they also kind of indicate this idea, the reason why she's overpowered is because it's love. Like, the fact that she has this desire to protect him, the love, like, made her super strong. Which kind of is the reverse, makes me wonder if he just lacks that love, so he never really got many stats. Or again, it could be one of those things where eventually he discovers that he has some kind of dumb quirk about him that makes him powerful. So far, the only skill he has is throwing a rock. And it was level 1, and it didn't do much. Of course, he has to question, where's my cheat skill? We always get a cheat skill. But yeah, solid first episode. We'll see if it holds up. But again, I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more than I did the 2-hit mom combo. Again, despite the fact that I really love the mom in that show, the rest of the show just kind of went downhill from the first episode. So hopefully this isn't the same case, but we'll see. But I hope you guys enjoyed my first impressions of my sister one-hit sister kill combo thingy. My one-hit kill sister. Yes, that show. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure to hit that like button down below, comment, let me know what you thought of the episode. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks button down below, as well as a membership button. Special shout out to all the new members. You guys mean a lot to me, and y'all take care.